want to do is all this hair gets combed down.
Okay.
Okay, now lift this foot up so she can't lift that one. You're going to use straight shears and you're going to make a square. So you're cutting straight up and down.
Okay.
Then you're going to come to the side. You're going to make a square straight up and down.
Okay.
The inside, a square straight up and down.
Okay.
On the back, a square straight up and down. When you're trimming your feet, whatever the height is of this needs to be the same height here
Okay.
and the same height in the back.
Okay.
What people normally do is they try to trim this bell and they make the back higher than the front. That should be even all the way
around.
all the
Okay.
way around.
Okay.
So she doesn't really have the hair to do this right now.
No, because I took it.
Yep.
And because I didn't know what I was doing.
So I'm going to take and I hold my shear in my non-shear hand like this, and I bring that bottom blade up. And now I'm going to just keep that line round all the way around. And I'm going to trim off.
So you don't use a...
I don't use curves.
Uh,
And what this is going to do is this is going to make a perfect bell when you do that. So put her on the ground again. I'll put her back here again. Hold that leg off the ground so she
Just a
can't
minute.
lift this one back up.
she tucked my hearing aid out.
Okay, so as this starts to feather, as I'm trimming, this is starting to make a bell like this.
Okay.
And that'll be absolutely perfect. But all you're doing is trying to make this height even all the way around that leg.
Okay.
And when you do that, you're going to create balance right there.
Yes.
Where if you look at most other cockers, it's up like this
Yes.
and then way up here in the
Yes.
back, and it looks awful.
Yes.
And it's not balanced. On this,
And so the video I watched had me take the foot
you want to trim
and trim
everything,
all of this.
all of that. Oh, you're a little turd. So you're going to trim this even with the pads. You don't want any hair to go below. and
Can
you
I
don't-
use my...
No, because you don't want to take hair out from between the pads. That hair needs to stay there. That protects the foot. But no hair should drop below the pads. So all this needs to come out. But nothing gets scooped out of here.
Okay.
Especially if they go into a 3x3 pin, their pad will get stuck in there. And then it could rip a pad off.
Okay.
So
she
they
doesn't,
need-
but that's okay.
Yeah, but they need to have that hair between those pads.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. What about the tail?
In the tail,
Because someone clipped it for me. I did.
way too much off.
Yeah.
You're gonna go 90 degrees. And anything sticking out past is gonna come off. And then you go 90 degrees. That's okay there. 90 degrees this way. So all you do is keep going back and forth 90 degrees. Wow, they took this way too tight.
Yeah, they did. It was a handler.
See that hole right there? So we gotta let that grow
Oh,
back
yeah,
in.
I know. What was her name? I can't remember.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay.
So I did this, and I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to
This
clean
needs
that
to
out.
drop.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that, but I clipped all that.
So what's gonna happen is all this
She's gonna have
hair
a hole.
comes back like this, and you take your straight shears. I have detailers, not the long ones, but I'll take detailers and I'll come in like this and trim this clean right here. This stuff all has to grow because this stuff here will drop down.
But she's
behind.
gonna get poop all over it.
Well, this is where she poops. This is way up here.
He doesn't get poop. Look at all
This
that.
right here will drop down,
Okay.
and that will be fine.
Okay.
But you got to let this grow. You can't let this.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I took
tight
it.
like that.
It was me.
Yeah. Now, same thing here. Don't cut any of this
Okay. I didn't.
because here that has to be the same height.
Oh, I cut back here.
Yeah, I see that. Don't cut any of that, because this has to be the same height all the way around. So you have balance on front and rear. But by cutting this off here, that is an English cocker, not an American cocker. So let all this come back in again.
Okay.
And then always cut your bell at your comb height right here. That's where that ledge is. So when you're gonna come in like this, I'm gonna straight
across.
all the way around like that. And it doesn't go any higher or lower than your comb height. And you will have perfect feet every single time.
Okay. Okay. So show me to blend here
To blend there,
on the ear.
okay, so I want this tight. So I'm gonna come in with this thinning shear. These are show thinners.
Okay.
It takes a lot more to cut, but see how little it's coming off of there? And so that's gonna blend that down more so it looks more natural. And I'm just gonna do just a little at a time, just so I can blend this.
Where do I stop it right here at the occiput?
Not necessarily, depends on the head.
It depends on her head,
Right, because right now this,
is long.
yep.
So where would you stop it?
So I'd bring this back forward like this and bring this higher. And the way I'm gonna do that is I would take and put my thinning shears like this,
Yes.
but I'm cutting back here. So I'm using this tip more as a guide, and I'm gonna get rid of that stuff that's tight on the back of this head to shorten her head up.
Okay. And all this will
And this
blend
is,
with
all
this.
that will blend.
Why did I cut that?
See, I just shortened her head up,
Yes, you did.
and Rose made that come up higher. Okay?
So
Just like that.
how long do I let that? I mean, because then it's going to start curling.
No, it's not gonna curl. If you're doing the beer and eggs, it won't curl.
Okay. Is that because the weight of the beer and eggs?
No, because it'll keep it hydrated. And what makes hair curl is dehydrated cortex. It makes it flat instead of round.
So how often do I need to do the beer and eggs?
On her, I would probably do maybe once a month in the beginning. As she starts playing outside a little bit more.
She's outside a lot.
Okay. But look at how I just made that round right there and shortened that head up.
That's really pretty.
So I put my thinning shears here as a guide, but I was cutting back here.
Do you take eyelashes or
Oh,
leave
do not
eyelashes?
leave eyelashes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she needs a bath about once a week.
Okay, so every time you give her a bath, do beer and eggs, and her hair is gonna be phenomenal.
Okay.
Nice.
And then all I do is these.
Just
on
those,
this.
to strip that.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
when she gets to a point where she starts getting really bulky in some spots,
Yes.
this is a left hand, I don't have my right hand with me, but you can come in like a comb and you can fine tune what you're doing here. And what this will do is it'll take any longer, weak hairs and it blends this,
Blend that.
blends that down real nice. See how
Thank
easy?
you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
No, it didn't sound.
It's a three-way stripping knife. And what it does is puts a final finish on
So
the
I
dog.
need this one,
In a right
this one, and
and
this
that
one,
one. Yep.
and this.
And Dawn, if you see Dawn, she's got this stuff.
Okay. And this. Do you have this?
That you'll get at Sally's Beauty Supply,
Okay.
$9.99.
And how much for the? Will
Those are $2.50. They're pretty smooth.
Are those the ones
They're
I need
titanium.
for him?
Yep.
They are wonderful scissors.
and these are flippers.
Yes, those are flippers.
Do you,
Right-handed, left-handed, used on either side. And it's, when you're cutting with those, it's just taking a little bit at a time, so you can't even tell that you've even cut.
So I have a pair of guides.
Uh-huh.
No, not guides. Kinchies like that. But they're probably not.
They're,
They're probably just.
yeah, I
everyday,
designed most of Kenchi's shears, so I know what Kenchi has.
And they're not the right ones. Okay. Do you have curves?
I don't have curves, and I will not ever make curves
'Cause you don't
because
like curves.
you can do a better bell with straight shears than you can with curve.
Okay. Do they ever trim the edges of the ear?
Oh, I'll trim the edge of the ear, but when I do that, I'm going to come in like this, and bring this down, trim very tipped, and that makes it perfectly round.
Okay. They told me not to ever do that. So
No.
everything they told me, you just told me wrong. How much here? Just here?
Yeah, I just clean right here around the private
So
areas.
leave all this grow?
Let all that grow because you need it.
That's bold.
Yep.
Okay.
The building
Thank you.
is now closed. The red doors will be locking shortly. The building is now closed. It will reopen tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
So I want
You want a right-handed detailer.
in these two.